Subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon, to never miss a video from us. Hi everyone, welcome to Test Prep Training. In this video you will learn about some commonly asked questions in Microsoft Azure Architect technologies. So let's get started. You have an Azure subscription that contains 10 virtual machines on a virtual network. You need to create a graph visualization to display the traffic flow between the virtual machines. What should you do from Azure Monitor? Your options are: A. From Activity Log, use Quick Insights. B. From Metrics, create a chart. C. From Logs, create a new query. D. From Workbooks, create a workbook. The correct answer is option C. And, here's the explanation of the answer. You have an Azure subscription that contains an Azure Log Analytics workspace. You have a resource group that contains 100 virtual machines. The virtual machines run Linux. You need to collect events from the virtual machines to the Log Analytics workspace. Which type of data source should you configure in the workspace? Your options are: A. Syslog, B. Linux performance counters, C. Custom fields. The correct answer is option A. You have an Azure subscription. You have 100 Azure virtual machines. You need to quickly identify underutilized virtual machines that can have their service tier changed to a less expensive offering. Which blade should you use? Your options are: A. Metrics, B. Customer Insights, C. Monitor, D. Advisor. The correct answer is option D. And, here's the explanation of the answer. You have an Azure App Service app. You need to implement tracing for the app. The tracing information must include the following: 1. Usage trends. 2. AJAX call responses. 3. Page load speed by browser. 4. Server and browser exceptions. What should you do? Your options are: A. Configure EAS logging in Azure Log Analytics. B. Configure a connection monitor in Azure Network Watcher. C. Configure custom logs in Azure Log Analytics. D. Enable the Azure Application Insights site extension. The correct answer is option D. You have an Azure virtual machine named VM1 and an Azure Active Directory tenant named @atom.com. VM1 has the following settings: 1. The following IP address. 2. System assigned managed identity. You need to create a script that will run from within VM1 to retrieve the authentication token of VM1. Which address should you use in the script? Your options are: the correct answer is option B. You are designing an Azure solution. The solution must meet the following requirements: 1. Distribute traffic to different pools of dedicated virtual machines based on rules. 2. Provide SSL offloading capabilities. You need to recommend a solution to distribute network traffic. Which technology should you recommend? Your options are: A. Azure Application Gateway, B. Azure Load Balancer, C. Azure Traffic Manager, D. Server-level firewall rules. The correct answer is option A. And, here's the explanation of the answer. You manage an Active Directory domain named contaso.local. You install Azure AD Connect and connect to an Azure Active Directory tenant named contaso.com without syncing any accounts. You need to ensure that only users who have a UPN suffix of contaso.com in the contaso.local domain sync to Azure AD. Solution: you use Azure AD Connect to customize the synchronization options. Does this meet the goal? Your options are: A. Yes, B. No. The correct answer is option B. You create a container image named Image1 on a developer workstation. You plan to create an Azure web app for containers named Web App Container that will use Image1. You need to upload Image1 to Azure. The solution must ensure that Web App Container can use Image1. To which storage type should you upload Image1? Your options are: A. An Azure storage account that contains a blob container. B. Azure Container Instances. C. Azure Container Registry. D. An Azure storage account that contains a file share. The correct answer is option C. You have an Azure Cosmos DB account named Account1. Account1 includes a database named DB1 that contains a container named Container1. The partition key for container 1 is set to /city. You plan to change the partition key for container 1. What should you do first? Your options are: A. Delete container 1. B. Create a new container in DB1. C. Implement the Azure Cosmos DB.NET.SDK. D. Regenerate the keys for account 1. The correct answer is option B. You plan to automate the deployment of a virtual machine scale set that uses the Windows Server 2016 data center image. You need to ensure that when the scale set virtual machines are provisioned, they have web server components installed. Which two actions should you perform? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Your options are: A. Upload a configuration script. B. Create an Azure policy. C. Modify the extension profile section of the Azure Resource Manager template. D. Create a new virtual machine scale set in the Azure portal. E. Create an automation account. The correct answers are option C and D. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel.